Straight up. Round 2. Here we go. Testing, testing, testing. Let's see if we're up. Looks like we're up on Mixer. I will check. Are we up?
Yeah, I got audio on Twitch.
All right. It says it's online on Facebook. I'm going to double check. Yep, we are live on Facebook. Sweet. All right. So that worked.
Hey, so if I write on Twitch, it does go to Facebook too?
I believe so. Mine definitely does. And then
Did mine show up when I say hello and that kind of stuff?
Yeah, but I'm watching it on Restream. Let me see if it pops up on Facebook. No. So my messages will go to all of them. I think Facebook, you can send to all of them. I'm not really sure how that works. All right.
Okay.
Well, test run 2. It seems like everyone's up. We've got 3 viewers on Facebook right now, 4 viewers and growing.
Hello.
On Twitch. Welcome. I got you guys loud and clear. Great. Thank you for letting us know. Again, we are very early in our streaming career, so if we have any technical issues, please just let us know. Message in whatever platform you're on. Give us a comment so we know what's going on. All right, we're live on everything. So welcome to the Dueling Doodles. We're going to be hanging out with the CreatiVets Chicago team for today. Thank you, Awesome Ketchup, for letting us know it's working. We're going to be doing some drawings, 2 different styles. Zachary will be working on some. I'll be working on my own. No prompt or anything. We'll kind of talk through our process. We got some support. Have a great stream today. Thank you. Appreciate it. Zach's echoing. I'm going to fix that right now, Richard. Richard, can you still hear us? We got an echo. I think I just fixed it, though. Can I get a confirmation? Is Zachary echoing? Zach, can you say something?
Yep. Hello. Am I echoing still?
Is he echoing still? He said yes, but I don't think
Hello? Uh-oh. Okay, let me see here.
Maybe just turn your volume down a little bit.
Me?
Oh, he's good now. You're good. I fixed it. All good.
Okay, cool.
So Dueling Doodles.
I'm on my headphones, so I'm not sure how that would work.
Yeah, we're good. It's just it's in the audio mixer that I'm using. So I muted it yesterday and then it wasn't working. Okay, so we're going to be doing some drawing. I'm going to be working on it. I'll just talk a little bit about what I'll be working on, just materials and what my prompt will be, and then Zachary will go into his. Again, my name is Garrett Leo, the art director for CreatiVets. Really excited to have all of you here. If you know any veterans or any veteran artists specifically that would want to do any of these activities, or if you want to join in yourself, we posted the material list on our Facebook and our Instagram. I'll be doing some more hands-on drawing with just like more readily available tools, nothing digital. So right now, so I'm going to be working on some sketches of some toy soldiers. This is one of the prints that we released. So we had 20 different versions of a toy soldier with art and music instruments or tools. I'm designing a art sculpture for one of these figurines. But I need to design the front, the back, and then both sides so that we can get a 3D rendering of the entire sculpture. So I'll actually be doing a picture of this one right here with the guitar. The materials I'm using a Bristol paper. This is the paper of choice that I use when I do any ink drawings. Not a sponsor, but Bristol paper gives you a little bit more of a grip. Depending on what side you use, there's a smoother side of the paper, and then there's a side that has a little rough part. It just depends on the texture you're looking for your picture. The reason I use this, it's a thicker, almost like cardstock paper. I will be using, after I get my sketch done in pencil, I'll be using some ink and quill tips, and then just like some India ink and some ink pens. And it doesn't spread into the paper, so you can make really clean lines with it. I'll be sketching with these really small blue pencils. These are special pencils. I forgot what the actual title of them is. Zach, do you know what the title of these are? I just call them blue pencils.
Nope, I don't. But what are they for?
So when you draw with these pencils, I have 2 different versions. This shorter one is a different brand. This is just like the Blick brand of blue pencil, and then this is Prismacolor. What these do is when you draw something, you can scan in that image later and scan it in, I believe you scan it in grayscale, and all the blue goes away. So what I'll do is I'll sketch my pictures today, so I'll have like a little blue toy soldier on here, and then I'll go over it with my ink, and then instead of having to erase all of my pencil marks so that I just have the ink, I can just scan the picture with the blue pencil marks, and it'll only pick up the ink drawing. Like the blue will just disappear because the computer will just scan it out. So this is a good tool, good material that I've used for like comic design, comic drawing, illustration. Again, it's just so that you don't have to go back in and worry about erasing all your pencil marks. You can just scan your image, your artwork, and it'll just go away. So that I'll do a sketch with. I have a couple different types of micron pens. These are good for I just have different sizes of them, all the same ink. I have some quill tip ink I will be using. I'm looking for so my quill tip pens. I've got a couple different versions of these. This I'll use with an actual little jar of ink. And then I have these really nice, they have an ink cartridge inside, but they're like little brushes. And I'll put this up to the camera. So that's the ink cartridge, and then it's got this really fine point, there it is, brush. And that you can fill in a lot of space with black or just use it for like an actual brush mark. Yeah, so I'll be doing some toy soldier sketches and then hopefully getting to some inking today. Zachary, what are you going to be working on?
iPad.
Boom. What program are you going to use?
So what's great about the iPad is, lots of people have iPads for all kinds of different things. You can have it for work, for business, for play, for pleasure, for watching TV, just for Netflix, whatever it is. But what's also great for artists about the iPad is you can use a program called Procreate, and there's a few others I'm digging into, and I'll have those posted on CreatiVets, and we'll do more live stream talking about those other programs. But Procreate's a great one for starting out for artists due to the fact that you can make designs and sketches. And like, for instance, for this, I was doing a painting, and you're able to quickly, we can see that. Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. There we go. We were able to quickly see the different spots and shapes, and I'm able to figure out my palette and quickly reorganize my palette or change my palette. Palette being my choice of colors and scheme of colors and relationship, and click and drag. But yeah, Richard, Procreate it does cost, and I have an image of it in the App Store right here. So in the App Store, this is what you're looking for if you're interested in Procreate, and it's a one-time fee of, I believe, $5. It might be $9. I'm not 100%, but it's a great purchase, great buy. Very, very useful, all kinds of things. You can even get into moving images, 2D video, and if you get good enough, some 3D video and 3D capabilities you can do with Procreate as well. But what I really utilize it for is the sketching of my art and figuring out new plans of paintings or ceramics, or just getting zenful with myself and making some really self-fulfilling art.
Real quick, just
I've got the Apple Pencil that came with it, but there are cheaper options. This is the Apple Pencil just with it has a wrap that I bought for it because I'm special. And yeah, you can get Apple Pencils on Amazon that are not Apple. I can't speak to their reliability or usability, but if you don't want to shell out for the actual Apple Pencil, one of the other Apple Pencils you can get for like $30. Garrett, Leo, what were you going to say?
Real quick, there also is Procreate Pocket. So if you don't have an iPad or anything that you can use, Procreate Pocket is from the same software, and it's $5 in the App Store. So if you wanted to do it on your phone and not go as high tech as Zachary, that would be also just a real quick thing that you could do and make some art on.
Yeah.
Just real quick on
Wanna get
prices,
started?
because I'm going to go over prices real quick, because that was a question Rich had about yours. For the packs of paper that I use, you can use any paper you'd like for drawing, obviously. I use this specifically for ink drawings. I think this pack of paper of, I think you get 20 sheets. I think it was like $10. So like I said, this is a higher quality of almost like a cardstock paper. But you can get like a sketchbook like this at Blick, which has way more paper for like $5. The pencil sets that I have, these blue pencils literally cost 99 cents, the Blick brand, which is the one that I would recommend. These Micron pens, you can buy a set for what, like $10? Zachary, you have a couple of these, right? Like $10, you can get a whole set of them. And then these...
And they come in all kinds of different thicknesses and uses.
These fancy brush pens, these ink brush pens, I think these are a little bit more expensive. This might be like $8 to $10 for just one, and it comes with an ink cartridge. But the good thing is you can just replace that ink cartridge whenever it goes out. So like this part actually comes off, and then I just replace the ink cartridge so I don't have to buy a pen again. Then the cartridges are like $3 for two or $4. And then the quill tip pen, you can buy any types of sets of these. You can get the little tip and like I have this really small one in my set. This was like literally like $2. I just bought a bigger one because I just like the grip of this one, maybe like $3. So not super expensive.
Very cool.
I have some other things that I'll be using, like, you need to sharpen your pencils. I have a handheld X-Acto sharpener, all different things. But you can get, there's a million versions.
Teacher.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and it's like, check this out. Look at this, and then you put it on your desk, right? And then it's got this little airtight lock, and then it's locked on the desk. Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah, it does. I think I have, and I've got some like smaller eraser or pencil sharpeners. Those little like bullet ones are the best. I had one here. I don't know what I did with it. Oh, it's right here. This is like highly recommend if you don't want to get something that takes up a lot of space. These little metal ones. This is like the best sharpener in my opinion.
All you need.
Yep. Cool. Let's get making.
Alrighty. So, real quick, what I will be showing with the Procreate, just showing how to get started. So we're on new artwork, and to blast through to a new piece, I have this piece of a young strapping fellow, if you will.
Oh, look at that. Oh, wow. Who is that? Who is that young man?
This is a younger, handsomer. So just the way I utilize this for my painting, sketchings, and things, I go to my layer with him, go to my magic wand right here. And this isn't going to be a full tutorial on how to do it. It's just kind of seeing some tips and techniques on how we might do something.
Right.
So if I'm tracing this and I'm making it for a painting, I lower the opacity from 0 to maybe like 50, back it down a little bit to like 30. And then we'll get started. So I'm on a new layer. That way, when I paint and things, it doesn't affect the actual image. You guys can't see that though. It doesn't affect the actual image of Mr. Garrett Leo. Garrett, can you see that? Is that not
a white screen? Oh, I can see it. It just it's trying to focus between you and that. So if you cover your face with the iPad, it'll show it. See? There you go. Got it. Looks beautiful.
Okay. So the way I like to use it is I just lower the opacity a little bit and then do a quick outline of my object that I want to paint. So we've got Garrett, and we'll just we'll do a quick outline. We got our brush tools. We can go from sketching, we got an HB pencil, which is basically like what Garrett Leo's using right now, just on a cool blue. And we do this fine tip pencil, change it up to a fine tip pen. And there we go. So do a quick little of Garrett. And I saw one of the comments was, how did you get started in CreatiVets? So I was medically retired from the military after 15 years in the Marine Corps. And in that process, found art and went to Chicago with CreatiVets. It was where I met Garrett. And it just kind of just stuck. And I was able to get into the School of the Arts here in Chicago. And then I am starting my third year here next year at the School of the Arts in Chicago. John, are we going to be doing a more detailed episode using the iPad and Procreate? I can. Yeah, we can do that. We just have to figure out the time and put together like a little bit better of a lesson on it.
Yeah, that was a great question, John. If anyone has any specific interests of art they want to see, or if they see anything that any of our instructors or visiting artists introduce, just send us a message on Facebook or Instagram so we can have that question or that suggestion documented, and then we can try to make a specific program for that.
Yeah, very loose, very easy. So anybody watching any great Netflix or Hulu or Disney Plus during this quarantine period?
Yeah, Sopranos.
Sopranos, of course. Didn't ask you. Do the answer. Anybody else? Karen, how long did it take me to navigate the program? Actually, it's very easy and very, very friendly. So everything is organized up here into these 9 options. The gallery is basically your back button. Your wrench is where you can insert a photo, take a photo, add text, cut, copy. Canvas is where you can do a resizing or cropping. Share is how you save it. Video is how you watch it. Your preferences and help. And then with the magic wand, you have opacity. You have a blur, sharpen, noise, liquefy, which is very cool. Show you that later. Clone, hue, saturation, and brightness, color balance, curves, recolor. And then you have a, I don't know, it looks like a bent ribbon. See if we can see that. It looks like a bent ribbon on top, right there in the blue. The bent ribbon, Tiger King. And I've heard good things.
Who's watching Tiger King? Oh boy, I streamed that whole thing in one day. That's how I've been doing it.
Was it good?
You
is that a need or a want?
You can't write that stuff. You couldn't write that story. You couldn't write that story.
Oh boy! All right, so with the bent, you have these options down here where you can draw rectangles, which can affect what you're going to be doing to that layer. And then you have your clicker guy, your little mouse button. Try to zoom in on it. There we go. A little blue. The mouse button is how you can move and adjust the strokes on your layer right now. Yeah, I've heard, Dan, you just can't look away. Nice, John. Learn to paint. Hey, when you do some paintings, put them on Facebook or Instagram, tag CreatiVets, and we will repost them in our story to show progress and hopefully inspire others to show their progress, and we're all learning together here. All right, so I'm back to my brush. I'm going to be doing can you see my black layers? Garrett, can you see that or no?
Yep.
Okay, so the black layers is where I'm making new images. I'm basically making outlines, so when I paint it, I can click and drag it in. So my hair, I've got the hair spots. I heard she's innocent, though.
Who?
You know. I'm just outlining different areas, and for this, I'm going pretty loose. I'm doing it very feels. So I'm not trying to be exact. I'm not trying to win an award for neatness. I'm just making different parts of the beautiful Garrett's face. Who else we got here? Anybody else want to say hi?
We have 7 people on Facebook. Thank you for joining us today.
Yeah, we'll all share this quarantine together.
All right. Pardon that noise.
A lot of this stuff isn't to, worry about how it comes out, how it goes. Just, just have some fun with it and see, how you feel doing it.
Zachary, Dan had a question. He has an iPad, no stylus. Is there anything he could use? Your finger, Dan.
You can use your finger, and you might even be able to use a regular number 2 pencil eraser. Just do it backwards. I would be very cautious about the metal, but I think that should work. But like I said, the stylus, I believe any stylus will work as long as it has the Bluetooth connectivity. But on Amazon, they've got them for like $20 or $30. There you go. Mom's buying it.
Boom. Future artist.
I don't know where Bart is. You're the most
Earth to Bart.
They don't have artist bone in their body and they can never draw. What would you say to encourage? I'll say this. Look at this. Like a beautiful drawing. Right? Just do what feels good, Just experiment and release some, some stuff, get some Zenful going, and, the best things happen by accident too. So sometimes I'll be drawing in for instance, for some reason, it's always when I'm in an airport, but I always hear, I can't draw a straight line to save my life.
That was great. That was great.
Thank you. I actually practiced that before we came on today.
He did.
I don't draw really any straight lines in art. And when I do, I usually use a ruler. So problem solved. So don't think of it as a leap. Just start.
And as a teacher, something I always that I learned from my mentor and that I've kind of adopted and used with whoever I'm teaching a class to is no matter where you start off, you can always practice creativity. You can always be creative. So kind of like what Zachary was saying, it's just start somewhere and just do it, see what happens. But the big thing to always try to keep in mind is that everyone's a practicing artist, right? People say that, I'm a practicing artist. They're doing exactly that. Every time you make a piece, you make another one, you learn from those mistakes, or just from making pieces, you kind of find out what you like and what you don't like, and then the next time you do more of what you like and less what you don't like. So always think of it as you're a practicing artist and you're practicing your craft and doing things over and over again because you like doing it. You're finding out what art mediums you like. If you don't like painting, try sculpture. If you don't like sculpture, try drawing. And that's, again, a big reason why when we have programs here at CreatiVets, we want to offer as many options as possible because you might not like ceramics, you might not like drawing, but you might like painting, you might like songwriting. So you can always experiment and explore other mediums and just have fun. Just try it. Something to think about.
Yeah. And Karen, the app is Procreate. Yes, ma'am. Okay, so I've got my little lines on his face to where I want them. And the most important step now is to figure out where those lines do not meet each other. If there's spots where they don't quite touch, I just have to come and clean those up and just give it a little tease together. So let's find one. Okay, so here we go. We got his very small and petite nostrils. So we have right at the bottom right here, it's not touching, and I'm just going to take it. Oop, now we're touching. Nothing pretty, just touching. So continue to do that. And once we have to where we like it, we will add some background. Check my eyeballs. My eyeballs look decently okay. Check his neck. Solid Adam's apple he was blessed with. Let's see here. All right, cool. I think we're ready for background. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to disappear the other layer, double check my guy. So that's what we got going on right now. Nothing crazy, nothing fancy, just fun. Just hanging out. So I'm actually going to take and I'm going to arrange this larger. Let's see here. There we go. I like that. I'm going to add another layer. That layer down. And let's see here. I'm actually going to. Okay. All caught up. I'm on painting. I'm going to go to my fresco. And I'm going to pick a color for the background. Let's say this.
And then those of you on mine, I'm drawing this figure. I have the drawings of all of these, the originals, somewhere, but I need to draw the back perspective and then the side views. So I'm trying my best, and I'm thinking as I'm doing this, I should probably use a program like Procreate. It'd be a little easier. So I'm drawing the back perspective. Here I'm just kind of readjusting the guitar angle that I have it at to try to match the one that I have. And again, for drawing, something very simple to keep in mind as you're starting off your sketch is draw light till you know it's right. So what that means is, don't apply a lot of pressure when you're initially drawing something, especially if you're going to be adding some details on top. Pardon that noise. The blue sketch that I'm doing really isn't that important to be super detailed. I'm going to go back in with the ink pens and the quill tip pen to add those details. So I'm just trying to get the generic shapes, the proportions right. So I don't need to press super hard. What I tell my students is you're not carving into the paper. You're just trying to lightly put that graphite or this blue different pigment on top of the paper. If you want to do some drawings where you're like really carving in, go for it. But for what I'm doing, I'm drawing pretty lightly.
Right, so I got my background going, nothing fancy, nothing blended. Now we'll start blending it a little bit.
And just another tip for any people just starting off with their drawings for the first time, like they've never really drawn before. Just keep drawing. You know, you might not like the way the way your drawings are coming out. You might be trying to find that, you know, you really like the style of another artist. As an artist myself who's been drawing since I was a little kid, something that I've always tried to do and realized that it wasn't helping my skills is I always tried to imitate artists and be exactly like them, and that helps. It's good to like look at other artists and look at their techniques and how they're drawing, but that shouldn't be your focus when you're initially starting out. You should just start making art, start drawing, and you'll find that technique. You'll find that style that kind of fits you. But I was going through my all my drawings to kind of find out what I wanted to do for today's drawing, and I was looking at my comic books that I made as a kid when I was like 8 years old. I kept them because it's really interesting for myself to look at how I started drawing when I was just having fun with it, and then seeing how that changed when I was trying to attempt to make a style, and then looking at how I draw now, where I'm just drawing because this is what I'm comfortable with, this is what I like doing. It's just different mindsets have an effect on the actual art that you make.
Yep. So, all right, I got a quick palette. I'm going to start filling in my guy. Okay. So let's see here. Let's start here. I'm on the wrong layer. There we go. So now we're working a little bit. Yep, it does. I'll show you that. It's a very interesting little piece. So we're up here on our palette. So I pick my spot and then I just click down here. So all of these, a palette that I just made. Hey, Emily. Welcome to the Thunderdome.
My drawing is going to look atrocious when I show it.
It's a bummer.
Update. Here's mine. Completely messed up this leg. I'm gonna fix it though. I have two. He's got like 3 legs right now, but I'm gonna fix it. I was fixing the perspective. Jeremy Crawford, what's going on, man? Music? Sorry about that. Jeremy just jumped in. What's going on, Jeremy? Question from Karen Lynn. Do either of you have a preference of listening to music or just having sounds as you're creating? I'm a big fan of music. YouTube copyright is not a big fan of me listening to music right now. But I will settle for listening to Zachary talk while I'm making art. That's a good middle ground for me. All right, so
I actually like to listen to TV shows in the background because it gives me an idea of how much time has passed. And if I don't do that, it's easy for me to all of a sudden get sucked into way longer than I anticipated.
Well, you don't listen to, you just watch TV shows in the background? You don't listen to anything else?
I mostly, just listen to TV shows in the background and a lot of audiobooks and podcasts.
A lot of what? I'm sorry, I didn't hear that part. Audiobooks
I'm a podcaster.
Podcast. All right, so my next step, I've got a pretty decent sketch. Like I said, I messed up this leg. The perspective of it was wrong, so I ended up drawing 2. But again, that blue, when I scan the image and save it, it's not going to matter. It's not going to pop up. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to start taking my Micron pens. Now, the cool thing about these, if you buy a set of them, they all have different sizes. So I'll kind of show you an example. Same brand, but this is like a 1, right? It's a graphic. And then this is a 0.5, right? Just a different tip. So if I wanted to go on here, just real quick trick for drawing. If you want something to look closer to you, right? A thicker, dark black line. And then if it's far away in the distance, you want a thinner line, right? As it goes away, it gets smaller and smaller. So I'm going to use probably a graphic just to get the initial outline done, and then go back in with a thinner Micron to do some detail work. Now, I'm using a whole sheet of paper just because I lack the ability to control my hand sometimes. So like I tried drawing it, I was going to do like, oh, let's be smart. We'll do one drawing here, one drawing there. And then I drew this, and I realized that it was going to go off the paper just by the perspective of it. I even like tested out, I don't know if you can see that, little tiny blue drawings, like really light to see if it would fit. It wouldn't. So I ended up drawing large just because you can get more details in there because I'm not trying to like get a super small Micron pen in there. That's just my own personal preference. Personal preference.
So, Jeremy, what are you up to?
Let's see, we got another question. Can either of you recommend ways to start drawing or painting? Buddy of mine recommended Acrylic University. Do you know what that is, Zachary? As far as
I don't.
I mean, just like academically, if you wanted to like learn, you could sign up for classes. I'm sure there's a million different online classes you could take. YouTube is a great tool with like just learning step processes on how to draw very specific things. So a lot of my students go that route, and just like their early artistic career from like middle school age, go on YouTube and like look up videos of other artists, and they'll do step-by-step videos, and you can kind of follow along with them. You can rewind the video as much as you want, so it's a little bit more controlled, a little bit just on your own working. What I would personally recommend is getting a sketchbook and just drawing. We did a video the other day, me and Zachary, called the drawing game, so we did blind contour drawings. So if you haven't watched that, watch that, because that'll go over, me and Zachary played these games that help your hand-to-eye coordination. That's what these lovely drawings are. So that's a way to kind of help train your hand and your eye to start drawing from observation. But the easiest one for me is just start drawing things, get a sketchbook and just fill it up. Just do one drawing a day, or if you really want to get on it, do more drawings. But, set an hour of the day to just draw things, doodle, just because you want to get your hand more comfortable with drawing. And then, like I said, if you want to do very specific things with your drawing, if you want to do hyper-realistic drawings, there's techniques and methods to do that. A lot of them, you could do a quick Google search and find them. You can find a lot of demonstration videos on YouTube. A lot of artists and educators post those for their students or for crowds or audiences. But then if you want to go to higher education, you can go to school for it. So depending on where you're at, there's high schools for arts specifically. You can pick, depending on what university you're at, if you're going to college, there's art degrees that you can go into, and depending on what programs the school offers, take those classes. I never took any like classes outside of just schooling. Like I didn't do any extracurricular art classes a lot, especially for drawing. I took one at like my local park, but nothing super serious about like teaching me how to be an artist. But yeah, you can look into wherever you're at, what your city offers, what your park district offers, what some art museums. A lot of art museums offer free classes too, depending on what your status is. So check those out. But I would say just start making art. Pick up a sketchbook, pick up a set of pencils. I've got this little example kit right here. You can get these from Blick. It's got a couple different variations of pencils, because when you do drawing, like traditional drawing classes, you'll have different weights of the graphite, right? So there'll be softer or harder graphite, and that'll allow you to do different techniques and things. This kit also has a little kneaded eraser in there, and it's got some charcoal. So again, just pick up a little art kit, see what you want to experiment with, and then start making.
Yep.
Yeah, and then Richard just mentioned subtractive drawing. I actually have some examples of subtractive drawing. Give me 1 second. So I can thank Richard for showing me this because I had never come across it. Here, I'll open up my portfolio of artworks. So if anyone wants to see just like how this blue pencil thing works, here is a drawing that I did. Right, pretty gross guy. I don't know if you can see if the blue picks up on there at all, but I did a very light blue pencil drawing. If you go to my Instagram or even my website, Instagram is manglazedblack. We'll post that in the comments below. You can see those drawings on there, and all the blue's gone away, so you don't see any of those little sketches anymore. But here, so subtractive drawing is something that Richard showed me when I first started participating and helping out with the CreatiVets classes. Show this one. So what you do is you take a charcoal piece and just cover your paper solid black, right? So you fill it up with a bunch of graphite on there. And then you take an eraser and then you erase into the black charcoal, and then you can make drawings that way. I really like it because you can get a lot of really nice shading very easily. It's extremely messy. Maybe I'll do one of those demos this week. But yeah, you just like pack in all this charcoal on a piece of paper, and then you erase on the piece of paper. And then actually, I'll get another show and tell piece while Zachary's working.
Yeah, well, he's not there. Here's where we're at right now with this little tiny sketch. So,
oh, look at that.
Fun, quick.
So I have this.
I know this.
I have this art piece that is also subtractive art with charcoal.
Very nice.
I wonder. I don't know. This kind of looks like someone in the video, but this is a really nice piece. Mine are pretty amateur looking, but this is a very professional use of the subtractive drawing technique with charcoal, because you can actually, like, looking at this, it's flat, but there's a lot of dimension to this piece, right? So you can see the forms in the face. It almost looks like a sculpture. Carolyn said, "That's Zach." Yep. So this is a piece. I don't know, Zachary, do you want to talk about it all, or I could just show it and then go put it back out?
Yeah, I'll talk about it. So with this, and I could probably stream this one of the days. Subtractive drawing is just for that one. That was 10 pounds ago. False, my friend. False. That one, with subtractive drawing, I just had a mirror in front of me, and I'm just looking at all the highlights. So if you can see here, point out my dome, we've got a highlight here. So if I was doing myself, I would start subtracting here, and then the tip of my nose, and then right here, and then maybe over here, and then over here, and that's literally just all you do. You take an eraser, and you just keep erasing on the paper, and your image just kind of like emerges from the shadows of it, which is what Richard said. It got him hooked. It got me hooked as well. Yeah, it just comes right out of the back of it, where you don't see it coming, and all of a sudden it pops up and it's there.
Here, I'll do a little demo of it. We can do a more in-depth one of these later.
Okay. Yeah, so I think I'm done with this one for now, and this is how it came out. Let's see if I can.
Oh, that's really cool, though.
Thank
that
you.
Looks just like me.
So yeah, I played with the colors, gave him some interesting aspects. I doubled the layers and gave him a shadow, and blurred the shadow, had another shadow with some other colors. Just playing around, just relaxing some stress, thinking about some things. I could do it from, pictures that are more important to me or that have a bigger meaning, things like that. So to show what it was, you can see. Right, so we have, yep.
Do a little eyeball.
So we have, here's my blurred image, which kind of looks like Garrett's clowns from here.
My clowns?
Yeah, kind of, right? Doesn't it? Kind of like blue and yellow.
Does. I like
that
that.
hair. And then I put it on top of that. I have another one with some, it's kind of like inverse colors. I have another layer on top with some other colors, and all of these have the opacity down, so you can kind of see through them. And then, yep, that's the top layer.
Hey, can I ask you a question? This doesn't have to happen today, but do you think it'd be easier and more efficient if I used Procreate to do the back of this guy? Because I have the file of it already.
I do.
Because I'm drawing this, and it's not fun. It's not fun. And I feel like if I'm going to use it for like a toy rendering,
here's what I would suggest. Here's what I would suggest is using it on Procreate and making like one back and the legs, and you can use a liquefy tool or the cut and paste tool, and you can move them slightly to match the different poses, because the backs are all relatively going to look the same minus their instrument,
right,
or their tool.
Right.
And so if you did that with the backs, like to match their movement, and then added a few, wrinkles that might be different, and then the back of that instrument, that might be easier for you.
Can I commission you to do that?
Yes.
Okay. We're going to do that. Maybe you could do that for your Procreate demo. Because this is like, it's going to be cool, but it's not, I don't think it's going to be efficient for what I want to use it for. Oh, here's the
backs.
My eyeball.
There you go.
So I just used just this really gross paint eraser I had, and you can see the corners really picked up all that charcoal. But I just kind of drew in there, and then the areas that I wanted to highlight. So I wanted the edges of the eyes to be really bright for the whites of the eyes, and then I add that little reflection in there. And then I just did some just like straight across with the corner, using it like a pencil to do some wrinkles, and then inset the eye there. This is just a little quick demo. But like I said, we could do a pretty in-depth one of this and make like a really cool piece. If you do work with charcoal, and we'll go over this in that demo, but you will need a fixative of some sort. So I've got a bunch of different types. So I've got some like multi-purpose spray adhesive from Elmer's, not a sponsor, but could be, not a sponsor. You just give it a little quick coat. And then the cool with this is if you are, like I said, I'm getting ahead of myself with the charcoal, but some of the adhesive is like a finish, so it's like you spray it and it's done. There are versions where you can spray it, let it dry, and then you can keep working on it. You can add some more layers to it. I've done that before. I've gotten a little crazy and added a bunch of different layers to a piece. Actually, show it. This is in this folder that I have on. Right. Let's see. Yeah, so is this guy. But I don't even know. You can't even really see the charcoal anymore. I'll show it in the portfolio. So this one, this is just like a having fun piece. It looks a little creepy and disturbing. It's all good.
Oh, you know what? That looks like the eraser you just had.
Yeah.
It looks like, like you made the design on the eraser.
Yeah. So like this is just like layers and layers of spray paint, acrylic paint, and charcoal that I would just do a layer of charcoal, spray fixative it, go over it with paint. So like you can see really dark purple. That's just like charcoal painted over with pink and spray paint. So that was just like a whole day, couple of hours of just kind of messing around with this one piece, just really exploring materials.
Right.
Yeah. Cool. But yeah, so this is all I got for my drawing so far.
You know what?
I inked that.
This looks like one of those.
I got. What'd I get?
Red, yellow, or the red, green, blue TV screens. What do you think?
I like it.
Cool.
Can I have that? Make my new phone background?
You want this?
Yeah. Oh.
Add this, my friend.
What are you working on? Are you done?
Just sent you a text. I had a question for you.
Secret message. Oh, hold on. There you go. Secret response back. But yeah, I mean, I'm going to keep working on this because I drew it, but I'm going to hire Zachary to draw the... It's really just the back. I mean, I can draw the sides because that's going to be just redrawing it completely. But it's the back proportions.
And honestly, we can just overlay that over the front and have it be...
I mean, I figured just like inverting the image and then doing like a layer over it and then drawing on top, you know? So you can go right over the angles. So this is just me working with the black pen. I'm starting to add those little details in.
There we go. So we want to see the coolest feature of Procreate.
I do.
So we go to video. Let's see here. Let's go to video. And then we click time lapse replay.
Oh, and then it does a little video of it. Cover your face with it. It's trying
It
to
does.
scan on your face. There you go.
Is that better?
Yeah. Sorry. You don't get to watch right now. Looks really cool, though.
Oh, good. You done?
Yeah, I think it's done.
One more time?
Yeah, one more time. So this little brush thing, I'm going to use this to fill in these solid black areas. I just marked on my whatever. And I'll fix it. I'll use this to fill in the solid black areas of the belt. So using contrast in pieces, I don't have a lot of solid black areas, but the belt is one of them that I made. You could also use a little India ink with just any old standard brush. This is just really nice in controlling your ink flow so you don't spill it everywhere. I'm notorious for making a mess. So I got these because it's just really nice control and you get some really precise lines with it. Whereas if you're using the India ink and just like watercolor brushes or whatever, there's more fluidity to the ink. This is a little bit more controllable. So I made that little belt.
Looks good.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm going to keep working on this.
I'll show you. Let's go over one more thing before.
Go over one more thing before we end for today.
One more thing. I'll do one more. We'll do one more.
One more thing.
All right. You want to see the best zenful thing I've found yet? Let me see if I can't position myself to where I chose to sit on the floor today because, you know, I'm a heathen. Is this better?
Is it supposed to be white?
I have an idea.
Okay. Is that you scooting?
Correct. How's this? Is this better?
Yeah, it's a white screen.
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
All right. So I've got my palette. Let's see here. Let's do, let's make a quick palette. How about that? you see it better now that?
Yeah, I mean, it looks. I'm looking right at it. It looks good.
Okay, cool.
Ooh, this is intimidating. Having two of you here.
So, any of you that are looking to get the Procreate and play around, a cool way to find colors that are in the same family that go really well together without thinking about it too hard or thinking you got to be some kind of super smart artist is you leave these two lines alone. Hey, Garrett, Leo, can you see my pen right here?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So leave these two lines alone. And if you play with this line, any color that pops up in your box right here is going to be in the same family. So they're going to be easily relatable. All right, so now we've got our colors, right? So here's what we're going to do. We're going to pick our brush, and I'm just going super simple. Flat brush, adjust my size, opacity all the way up, and I'm going to bang, bang. All right, grab another color. Bang. Boomerang. Kabang bang. Chippity pow. All right, let's go with green. I'll change that size up a little bit. So you see how these colors, they feel like they make sense together, right? That makes sense?
Does to me.
Okie dokie. All right, so we'll go with blue, crank it up a tiny bit. So we're just making a beach towel, right? Just a beach towel. Let's put a hot pinker in there. So we'll call it a pinker stinker. That's what the kids would call it. And for the last one, sure, let's do this pink a little more time here. And let's go with the purple. Up. Too big. There we go. Okay, so we have our colors laid out. And this is what's neat. Who's ready for this? Take my liquefy, and I do the push on here. And then I'm going to lower it to like 55. And I'm just going to drag it. That pushed way too much. Pressure down. Drag it like this. Drag it up. Drag it down. Drag it up. And I'm just going to keep playing around with it. Turn my canvas. And this doesn't have to be what you do, but like in this order, I mean. So we see here, we're kind of funky. You're going to go for my corners now. And this I find is just really fun. I'm not looking to necessarily make anything I want to hang on. I'm just having a good time exploring colors and, stuff. And then I'm going to go to liquefy, and then just push it around.
So while he's doing that, I'm just working on a little doodle of a really ugly face. So
There you go.
Use the graphic to draw all this. Now I'm taking this brush pen, and in the hair, you can see it's getting a little bit more fluid, right? Trying to make some like wavy looking hair. I'm just playing with shadows and not coloring the whole hair, right? I'm leaving little white streaks, so that could be where like little highlights of light are. And that'll give it the illusion that it's wavy. And then I'm going to use this, excuse me, and just kind of draw a little suit. Pretend he's wearing a little suit. Give him a little tie.
Yep, spread the colors out a little bit, and boom, look at that. Super fun, little funky, can be your background. My screen's small again, Garrett.
Is it small? I'll fix it. There we go. Got everything in the way. Boom. Look at that. Nice little color play.
Yeah, you know? So, all right, well, that's a little exploration for today.
Yeah. Give me 1 second. I'm about to finish this. Then we can sign off for the day. If you saw anything that we introduced today, please leave us a comment. I know some people were interested in a more in-depth Procreate demo. We can definitely do that. And then same thing for if anyone's interested in the chalk pastel, the charcoal erasing. We can make a piece with that. Or just more hangouts with just making. Zachary, someone asked a question. Did you already answer it of how you got involved with CreatiVets?
I did, yep. Yep, getting out of the military, figuring out what I was going to do helped me out. Trying to explore some things that I've been putting off for the last 15 years. Things like that. I sent you a text of the picture.
Sweet.
Let's see what you think when you can see it in person.
Hey, hold on. Boom. Oh, okay. It's a lot more muted in person.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
It's not as like vibrant. Here's my little doodle. While I was waiting.
Amazing.
Isn't that great?
Love it.
So that was it. Thanks for hanging out with us today.
Yeah, and we're going to post these things on at least the story on CreatiVets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, if anyone has anything they want to see the rest of the week or until this all goes back to a little bit more normal, please send us a message on Instagram or Facebook. If you haven't checked it out already, on creativets.org/live, the link is in our Instagram bio. You can find a full schedule for this week, what we're doing, all subject to potentially changing and adapting as we get more people on board for wanting to do more demos. But we have something ready for every single day this week. So whether it's something related to music or art or even physical health or mental health, come on in and check it out. Thanks for hanging with us today.
Yeah. Thanks, John. Appreciate it.
All
Glad
right.
you guys had fun. All right. Garrett, Leo, hugs and kisses.
Of course, always.
Stay safe.